In this segment, we will be inoculating 3 grain masters with agar wedges from a Petri dish. Now, this segment begins after about an hour of preparation for clean work, and for a more detailed description of what I do to get ready for this, please refer to the opening sequence in the grain-to-grain transfers section. Now, of course, as with any time I transfer agar, the first step is always to heat the scalpel red hot, and mercifully I've chosen to show you this little 5-second graphic each time, rather than bore you to tears as you wait a couple of minutes while the scalpel heats red hot and then cools off a bit. Equally important with flame sterilizing our scalpel, of course, is to sanitize the surfaces of the jar with alcohol so that any contaminants that might be on the surface don't get blown into the jar by the flow hood. I like to loosen the lid so that when I get ready to make the transfer, it can happen as quickly and smoothly as possible. And I also want to sanitize my gloves with alcohol just to make sure no contaminants that have landed on them get knocked into the jar by the wind from the flow hood. Well, there you have it. You duplicate this process by however many Petri dishes and grain masters you're going to inoculate on any given session. I have learned from experience it's best not to shake a grain master after you inoculate it with an agar wedge. And the reason for this is that it seems to knock the mycelium off of the agar, but it doesn't recover into the grains. It waits until the mycelium recovers from the agar again, which seems to set you back several days. So I simply drop the agar wedge into the grains, and the mycelium continues to grow on the agar, and then it crawls right into your grains. And when I have an inch or two worth of the top part of the grains colonized, then I give the jar a good shake, and it only takes a couple of days after that for it to finish up. So it actually speeds up the process if you don't make your initial shake for about 3 days after you make your transfer. And of course, don't forget to label the jar with the date, species, and strain right away. Good luck!